However, you're going to do.
Welcome to YouTube channel Knowledge Base. This is Suresh Venkat, connecting world with innovative experts. Today we have an interesting guest, Mr. V. Nitin. Mr. Nitin has done his graduation in electronics, post-graduation in business information system from Australia, and he has worked in various organizations before starting his own venture, Touch Codes India Private Limited in 2015. Touch Code India's specialties include mobile application development and providing solutions to e-commerce. In last 5 years, he has really scaled up his organization. Today is going to talk on hyper local market. Over to you, Mr. Nitin.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure connecting on your YouTube channel finally.
Yeah.
After all the missed dates and things. Yeah. So yes. So basically, why we wanted to connect is, as you know, that we are already working on e-commerce applications, and we also have our own e-commerce business model, which we are supporting our clients all over the globe with more than 17 clients. We have been successfully completed this business integrations for them, and we are helping them to scale up their business as well. But lately, as you can see with Zomato, Swiggy, and all these businesses jumping the line to hyper local business model. So what we thought, that we have already been working in this line from, as you know, that almost like 6 years, 7 years down the line. So we thought, why not let's get started up with this hyper local delivery business model and start scaling it, because we already have our team, we already have a structure. So yes, okay, let's actually first talk about what is actually a hyper local delivery business model. What is this all the hype about? Actually, not the kind of a fuss. Let's say, what is this hype about? Say, basically a hyper local delivery model is something which you can define as it's a business model, not exactly a hyper local delivery model, what you can call it as. It's actually a business model where aggregator like us, who acquires product which are local in the sense is, let's say, a set of pin codes, a geographical area. We say, let's say it's a customer in the same geographical area, let's say that, and the product are locally available and are delivered locally as well. So that's the base which we call it as hyper local. Okay, so basically what I can tell you in a single line is, customer places an order, aggregator receives, I mean, like, we receive the order, we send in our delivery team, and just from the local stores, and the customer receives the product, which you can say that in a less time frame, which could be less than 1 hour or less than 2 hours. Which, doing this business model, one of the competitor in the market, already a kind of a hectic market, which is already, and customers are actually winning in this particular kind of business model. So they started, why I'm trying to point you out is, what's the difference between a hyper local business model and the already traditional business model, which is already in the market. The best part is, customers wins in this hyper local business market. The customer gets the product within a very short time frame, that could be less than an hour, which bigger business delivery companies can't make it. And here, basically what we do is, we try to make sure the local market, which is already are straining themselves with the rapid growth of other bigger companies, MNCs, stepping into this market, and the rise of e-commerce and online retail stores. This has been a huge threat to the what do you call it, as a traditional stores. Okay, by going hyper local, the model provides them then opportunity to optimize their sales. I mean, like, you just, this business is already up and running. What I meant to say is the traditional market is already there. All the traditional stores need to do is just sign up with hyper local businesses. It can't be just one. I mean, like, you can sign up with multiple businesses to grow your business right now, and your investment is, it stays the same. You don't need to invest on technology, you don't need to invest on sales, or even on your inventory. You don't need to do that. And what you can term it as a minimal efforts from the retailers, what they have to do. By doing such, retailers can just enlist their business on the respective platforms and just grow their business. The thing is, the pickup is done by the aggregator. You know, you understand the whole structure, how it works. So what it helps the traditional stores is, it helps them to build a sustainable ecosystem. And as I told you, the transportation is reduced. And in the traditional e-commerce businesses, what they term it as, I mean, like, from you can order your products from Jammu and Kashmir or from Rajasthan and all that such things. But most of the customers, when we have done, and even in the market, there's research, enough research done, that the customer wants the products on a regular basis, the kind of products which are locally available. That is what is the key point here. So yes, I mean, like, I try to, you know, reframe, I mean, try to reframe from going on with the huge lines here. And yes, sir. So this is basically what we can term it as a hyper local ecosystem, or a hyper local market, or a hyper local business model. Yes.
Okay. Deviating from the topic, can you briefly tell me about your journey with touch codes in last 6 years?
Oh, okay. Sir, basically, touch codes, we started this as a product development company here. So our first product was called as Touch Campus, which we launched in 2015, the same year as the inception of our private limited company. So Touch Campus was a ERP model for the schools, where we connected the dots. Dots in senses, it was not just a management application as such. The teachers were involved, the teaching and the non-teaching staff were involved. Even the what is it, the transportation, the library, we connected each and every dots in there, and including the parents themselves. So that was our first product, and now we have bettered the product. We have also launched even a mobile application for that, which was done almost 4 years back. Basically, ERP, we didn't have this mobile application in the beginning. So yes, we launched that. And our newest offering to the market at this stage right now is called as Unio.
Okay.
Unio is just a kind of what you can call it as congregation of people. So Unio, the term itself, as we say, Unio. So what we have done with Unio, which is our newest offering from Touch Codes, is a membership application app, as well as a software, where anything where a membership application structure works, a membership for the same kind of structure. Let's say it could be clubs, it could be cooperative societies, it could be associations, and as well as even we are currently working on a health based application using the same Unio, where we had a request from a group of pediatric doctors, where they wanted to discuss on unique cases, so they could come to quick solutions. Senior most doctors getting onto this platform for especially for pediatric doctors. So we want to scale this to other kind of departments as well. So the kind of privacy of the patients is also saved, as well as you already know how the medical field has increased. And I mean, there's no bounds, the kind of, but technology is yet to catch up in terms of doctors interacting with each other, how they are discussing their cases, how they are trying to find out the new unique way to solve different kind of medical issues what they have come up with. So yes, sir. So right now, TouchCodes is currently building its own OTT platform right now. That's what is TouchCodes currently held up. But as already briefed to you as well, we have been in this e-commerce field for almost like 6-7 years now. So we thought that let's go, because our expertise is already there in this field. So we thought that let's go build an hyperlocal market. And yes, we are starting that basically from Bangalore. So we are doing our pilot program, which will be up and running in probably in another 10 days. Yes.
So how do you reach out to domain expertise in building this product?
Okay. Domain expertise in the sense is,
say for example, school product or maybe a doctor product.
Yes. Sir, basically what happened is the kind of when we say expertise in the sense is basically our when we started with Touch Campus product was we directly built that to a group of institution here which run around 17 schools here in Bangalore. So that was our first kind of project. They helped us, a lot by giving us positive inputs and the pain points what they were already facing. So actually, what happened with us was, I mean, like I don't know what you term them as, opportunity in disguise.
Okay.
You know, where the client reaches us and says, "Okay, you're a startup. Yes, we have this." What we were thinking that to build a school application, and the school committee themselves reached to us and says, "So A, B, C, D. These are the pain points. Let's start with you guys and let's build this product." So the unique offering what the school gave us with exactly the pain points which will be faced by all the schools gave us a very good opportunity in terms of domain expertise. We actually had the masters, kind of guiding us to build this product. So yes, sir.
Approximately how many users you had? How many clients you had for this particular product?
Sir, exactly, we had around 22 schools signed up when we launched this until 2018. So, and the Corona thing was a different scenario for us. Exactly, kind of what they call as learning curve.
Okay.
So yes, so now right now we are also integrating the teleconferencing into the application, so that the teachers and the students can connect instead of using other freeware kind of applications, which the safest one, as you can call them as. So instead of facing all these kind of issues, as I told you, we have already been working with the schools, in lieu with the schools. So it's been very easy for us to go ahead and do the work. Once as you can see, I mean, like, you're facing an issue, the team get back to us and says, so and so we need such fixing. So as I told you, we already did digital classes for them, we did teleconferencing for them. So we have used the best technology in the market. We try to solve all the issues what our clients face. And yes, sir, please.
What are the challenges that you face generally, as well as during developing a product? See, normally every day we see a information about a new startup or about a new startup celebrating funding, but over a period of time, they are not able to scale up. Whereas I am being following TouchCodes for close to 6 years through social media and through other sources. I feel definitely you people have really scaled up. So from that angle, I'm just trying to find out what are the challenges that you overcome generally, as well as in terms of developing any particular product.
Yes, sir. To be frank in this particular thing is our clients have definitely I can call you as the I don't know a strong foundation what they have given us. Um, Basically, I do hear a lot of things regarding. Pardon me. I do hear a lot of
You
things.
Indians never follow the time, I say.
I'm sorry for that.
No problem.
So that's my sister there.
Okay.
So what happens here is our clients have been a very good foundation for us, and I have seen that a lot regarding the finances because, and let me tell you that we are still bootstrapped
Okay.
for 6 years, and that's the core reason which I tell you that our clients been clients which have we been working with have really been a very good foundation for us. I keep repeating that is because of them we've been kind of, let's not use a word survive. We've been fighting really hard in this market, and what we have done here is with touch codes. See, basically, touch code's strength is building unique applications. I mean, like for our own products as well as even for our clients. So what we have done is touch codes doesn't want, to we don't want to have our feeds in different directions. We want to be in one direction. So what we have done is we have tied up with other startups. We have built a touch codes has built an ecosystem for itself here. So for example, digital marketing, we have a very great company working in collaboration with us. So we have a what they say, a design company working in collaboration with us. So we have what do they call it as app development company, which Touchcode does by itself. So what we do is when we get any particular product, when we get any particular project here. So for example, as I told you, we have 4 other companies working with us together. So we don't compete with each other. We work together in getting clients for us. So my design company, they get a client, they say, yes, we have touch codes who can deliver the best application for you, the best customized apps for you. So if we get any design project from our end, we say that, yes, we have the best design company with us who will. So we make sure that each and every references where we have around 6 companies together working. So each company we work in a kind of a perfect piano, what I can call you as. So it's pretty easy for us to survive in the market. It's not just survive. So we've been growing together. I mean, like we've been strengthening each other. I mean, like, yes, that is how we've been, we are able to surprise our customers. We have been able to come up with unique products in the market. So yes, cheers to the other 6 partners which I have with us.
That's great. That's great.
Yes, sir.
So where do you see touch code in next 3 to 5 years?
So we've been kind of what do they say is competitive in time in terms of kind of projects what we are building for our clients right now. The online market has gone haywire since this corona has been hit for 2 years now, and what we can see is this online market has grown. I don't know, there's no bounds to what opportunity we have got currently. And plus, because we were already in this market almost in 7 years now, so it has given us a very vast opportunity and a kind of a kind of a bandwidth where we have been competing in the senses for huge ERP applications. We are working on for one of the biggest company here in South India, and we have also been working for one of a very good market in Middle East, where they are all based on the same structure, the ERP, from what you can call it as from a plow to plate or something like that, or from farm to fork, this kind of structure. And our expertise in this e-commerce and online business has given us a extra boost, what you can call it as. And yes, we have been able to deliver to our clients really well. And coming in 3 years or 4 years, as we told you, that we are launching our own hyper local market as well, in, as I told you, in collaboration with already the clients which we have worked. As I told you, we have worked with lot of e-commerce with our offerings. What we have done, we have more than 27 already clients in our kitty. So we have collaborated them with in this market here. We have learned from them, and that is how we are able to create the new hyper local application, which we are coming up into the market in another 15 days. Yes.
Any plans for expansion other than Bangalore location?
Yes, sir, we definitely need to. But what we currently doing is we are doing pilot programs starting with Bangalore. We will also start with tier 2 cities here in Karnataka to begin with. Probably in another, on a quarterly basis, we will be opening up with 2 cities each, starting with Karnataka. And you'll be happy that we are already coordinating with one company in Chennai as well. So those are still taking baby steps. So what we wanted to do is, any kind of a startup which they are ready and they say that yes, this hyper local market is something that we need to start up. So you don't need to build all the technology, you don't need to build all the all you have to do is just sign up with your clients, and we will provide all the technology whatever you need. It could be the web applications, it could be the apps in the market. We will help you with everything, and you can go with your own hyper local market. See, the thing is, this hyper local market, when we say as per the terminology, being an aggregator is much easier now. And when we say a hyper local market is just within your pin code. Let's say Bangalore is 560078, which is JP Nagar, and the whole radius of JP Nagar is around, say, 6 kilometers. Let's say let's take that scenario, 6 kilometers, and you don't need 300-400 member team to manage that. I mean, like 10-15 guys can manage the whole area by themselves. This hyper local marketplace is actually, being an aggregator and working in the local market gives you a great opportunity to work. And these kind of businesses right now which are booming, I mean, there are no bounds. You just start with one pin code, then you add additional pin code, and you just kind of keep going until. And there are a lot of as I told you, e-commerce giants. If we are able to achieve this kind of success in hyper local markets, they'll be able to help you out with all the finances, all the infrastructure, because for them creating hyper local market was a big challenge, and some of them have already failed as well. So I see, for many startups, many youngsters, hyper local market is the next big thing.
Based on your success, what is your message to startups, particularly in IT segment? Or what's your advice?
I don't know if we have grown enough where we can, kind of advise other startups. But I say, stop competing, start, kind of building partnerships as we have done. You need to strengthen your core, kind of offerings in the first place. You need to be really brief. You need to be really know your key points. What is it? As I told you, Touch Codes has kind of partnerships where I tried to brief you in the beginning as well. We don't create competitions within ourselves. We create opportunities within ourselves. So that is how, and that is the best way to grow with the. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of startups. They're just, most of them are bootstrapped, and I don't know, 0.1% are really lucky with the kind of idea they come up with. They get fundings, and I mean, like, let's not get to that point. We are here talking about startups who've been not surviving, who've been competing all the way. I mean, like, no matter it's 2010, 2015 or something like that. The best way is create partnerships. You know exactly what you want, get people with your bandwidth onto your platforms. They will market by themselves. So you don't need to work so much hard. But most of the startups, what we do is in this service business as well, in the product business as well. When we start with the product, when we started actually, why I keep taking this lengthy conversation is there's so much to talk, and I feel that it's so less time. So yes, I say just build partnership in the first place. Whatever your offerings are, whatever your partners can offer, just build a kind of a group companies, and trust me, I mean, like, you will go places.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Nitin, for spending your valuable time.
Sure, sir. It's my pleasure, actually. I don't know if I need to talk. I mean, like, we've been associated for almost like, I don't know, 10 long years, not 10 or 10 long years.
Yeah.
And my bad, I missed a meeting with you as well. There's a lot of things which I thought I would learn from you, but yes, it was short-lived. But yes, thank you for giving me such a great opportunity to talk on your platform as well. So yes, sir, I really appreciate your kind of guiding us in this line, because you've been in this what to say, IT field for such a long time. And you really inspire us. I mean, like, I don't know what you take it as, but I mean, I would say that I would just just go home and kind of sleep with the kind of experience what you have. But you really inspire us. I really thank you for this opportunity to talk on your channel. And I hope, as I told you, startups don't compete with each other. They build great partnerships. I mean, like, there's no bounds to the kind of partnerships level which you build. And no matter what kind of company you're against, we can compete at any level. I mean, like, even being bootstrapped, you definitely, the best clients which you can get get, and the customer service counts literally anything. I say never lose a client. That is one of the point which I actually missed. No matter, there is no such thing as bad client or a good client. See, of course, at some point of time for a bootstrap company, it is definitely pretty hard for us to keep going. But if you keep your customers happy, they'll make sure that your I don't know what you call it as, your accounts are always happy.
Sure. Wishing you all the best to you, as well as to your organization in all your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.